Oh man, I'm so glad that it's still December 2021. You're watching this in December 2021 as you get into the Christmas spirit. That's what's happening. So do you guys remember that video I did for Christmas last year? It followed that little elf named Oriphice and you got to choose how the story went. If you didn't, you literally just must watch it before this. You're not freaking allowed, get it? Okay, so basically we're gonna be breaking down how I made it today, and stick around because I think it's kinda interesting. Even when I'm not recording, every now and then I'll go through the Blender file and think, wow, did I really do that pre-shredded cheese joke? That really fell flat. How wasn't that cut?
What's wrong, sir? Did you cook with pre-shredded cheese again? I told you that stuff's covered in anti-caking agents that will prevent proper meltage.
Okay.
I was watching a lot of Joe Gran while conceptualizing this, and I'm just 100% sure it showed up in the final animation. Many have been quick to compare Oriphice to Frumple's Quest, a choose-your-own-adventure video following a big-nosed, brightly coloured, optimistic goofball. I don't see the resemblance. Speaking of Big Nose, this was gonna be Oriphice's first design. It's not really a bad doodle, but there's just not anything of note. This was better, maybe minus the breasts.
Oh la la.
Breasts. From here, what you should do is draw the character again and again to flesh out a better design, but other than this handful of doodles, that stage kinda just happened while I was animating. Yeah, I was kinda on a time crunch, and if I was gonna finish by Christmas, I needed to start animating. But this meant that throughout the cartoon, Oriphice's design would just constantly change, because I didn't have a style guide. Some of the designs were also done by my good friend Ice Cream, like the convenience store man, who went through a couple different colours before settling on one we liked, and the pink elf that showed up at the end. She's beautiful. The script came together pretty naturally over a week or two. I wrote it alone, then checked over it with Ice Cream to tweak some stuff. We need a scenario for why Santa needs a new reindeer, what's wrong with Rudolph?
'Cause he's dumb.
What?
Rudolph is dumb.
Okay. I'm really grateful I had someone to collaborate with while making this thing. I think it can be very important to get out of your own head and work with people. In fact, for almost the entirety of this project, I was in a Discord VC with Krem and some other friends, and we would just have fun chatting and listening to wonderful music while I worked. It's very charming. It's what the whole world should do.
Okay.
I'm skipping forward in the process a little. I hope you forgive me. It just makes sense to save the best for last. And I tell you, the way I did the animation is really something to behold. So, in order for this to work as a choose-your-own-adventure video, I needed to export a bunch of separate video files and then link between them using the end cards in each YouTube video. The only problem was that I made it really hard for myself because instead of having a linear order to things, I gave the viewer the option to choose which order they collected the items in, which meant that after getting an item, it would have had to have accounted for whether the viewer had gotten that and another item, whether that was their first item, or whether they had every item and they could go inside to face Santa, which essentially means there are 70 videos on my channel that are all just different routes for Oriphice. There could have been 24 or even less if I had just made the order in which you collect the items linear. But honestly, whatever. Even though it was a pain to set up and everything, I'm still pretty glad I allowed them to choose the order, because when I talk to people about Oriphice, I like hearing the order they went in. It shows what they're most attracted to. Another one of my inspirations for this was Miles John, particularly his music and 3D backgrounds. The music for Oriphice is just a bunch of MIDI files I found of carols online that I arranged with 90s type MIDI sounds in FL Studio. I'm talking 1 to 4 tracks each song, super simple stuff. But it worked. There were also some tracks that I didn't make, like this bit with the Half-Life 2 OST.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Or this bit with The Learned by Flying Squid.
What am I gonna do? you!
I don't know how to end this segment. Let's just talk about the animation already. Come on. Okay, so I'm about to say the thing that I've probably been most stoked about telling you this whole video. After that, you might as well leave because none of it else matters. Oh, I'm a nihilist. Ugh, burp. That's my Rick impression. Did you like it? Okay, no more playing. Basically, the entirety of Oriphice was animated in one Blender file. That is literally the craziest information I've ever heard. To those of you who don't animate, that's like a crazy, insane person thing to do. Especially one with as big a world as Oriphice, because it can seriously make everything lag. And it's like 13 minutes of animation. What was I thinking? It took forever to render. Even Pixar renders their stuff with each shot in a different file, I think. I didn't look it up, but... Hello. The thing is, I could get away with it on Oriphice because I used very similar techniques to those that are used by people who are optimizing a video game. I kept everything super low poly, almost everything was like unshaded, just flat colors, and I would have parts of the map load in and out when they were needed. I think mainly the thing I'm proudest of is the hot dog cooker at Pick and Pay. It's just so good. Look at it go. Whee! And look at this, a scrapped reindeer model. That's just not good. Speaking of Pick and Pay, did you know it's an actual grocer here in South Africa? I thought it would be funny to have a random South African brand in the North Pole. My humor is so cursed, XD. It's honestly just super satisfying to fly around this world I made in Blender as if it were like a source map, and look at how all the 2D stuff looks when it's not playing to the camera. Oh, my arm. A lot of Oriphice was about playing to the camera actually. Things quickly fall apart when you fly around and look at it in 3D. Like how this mountain has a pitch black, super simplistic model to make it more visible in the fog, but when you actually need to go up it, it swaps out for a high detail version. Or how about the Minecraft screenshots that are literally just flat plains that Oriphice runs around? The falling snow is literally just massive sheets of transparent material with an animated snow texture on top. And space is just like a gradient. Sandra's hands were on this shot were actually rotoscoped just because of how much I love rotoscoping. Here's the raw video.
You must fetch these items 3. Okay.
I could go on and share other stuff, but I think you get it. Look at how big Santa's head is here. Whoa.
Oh my gosh, that head is literally so big.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
If I could describe working on this all in one word, it would be messy. I sort of just went into the animation with little to no planning or tests, building the map as I went along and changing things as I needed. I don't think this is the best way of working. It's much faster and more fun in my opinion, but I know that if I want to start working on animations with other people and collaborating more seriously, that I probably gotta learn to be more professional about it all. I'd do Oriphice very differently if I made it now, but I still don't think I'd have it any other way. All the weird choices I made that I can't really explain just contributed to making a wacky, fun, rough webtoon that I'm super proud of. I don't think I'd change anything about it, really. Other than that line about, like, the pre-shredded cheese, how did that make it in? It, did I not have anything better?
No, you didn't.
Thank you all so much for making it to the end of the video. I genuinely appreciate it a lot. I'm sorry that it took so long. I meant to get it out in like January, but it wasn't on the table because I've been busy with school. But hopefully I've adjusted to the workload by now and I'll know when to like schedule getting in animation time. I've been posting a lot more on Instagram and Twitter though, so follow those if you want more Gave2IJ content. Otherwise, like, this video was in 4:3, like, it looks more square instead of, like, normal. I thought it would be more artistic, but it ended up just sort of... I don't think it was a good idea. That was my fault. I'm sorry. If you liked it, good. I'll use it in future, possibly for different types of videos, but I don't think it worked in the way that I did it here. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.